story of how we met. Her name is Brianna. My name is Mike. This is a little story of a little girl in Alabama.
One subscriber asked how we met. So
therefore, everyone wants to know.
Everyone needs to hear this story. Okay, so our story I actually think could be pretty interesting, just because it's
not that interesting. Is it unconventional?
Untraditional.
People who didn't know each other before now knew each other then, and then they got married. Pretty standard.
How many guys fly the girl out? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, that's what you call a hook. That's what you call a hook, folks.
This story actually starts back in September of 2023. I was working at my gym back in Alabama. That
Club
is where
for
I'm
Fitness.
from. Club for Fitness. Shout out.
Mobile, Alabama.
The assistant personal training manager at the time had really pushed us personal trainers to start social media and to just post fitness content on there, just in case something were to happen with our job. In the moment, I was like, what do you mean? Am I on the brink of getting fired? Or no, I'm just kidding. But just in case something were to happen, like, at least we'd have a following and be able to post content and, you know, still make a career out of it. I was not on board with that idea at first because I didn't really like the idea of posting myself on social media. I didn't like putting myself out there like that. But in January, I believe, I made my first post, and then 2 weeks later made my second post.
Folks, and your first post went viral, right? Second post, 29 million views on Instagram.
It got some views.
Got that clout chasing, you know what I'm saying?
I continued to post after that, and it wasn't until April I went to Louisiana to meet up with some friends, and that is where I met Michael's mom's friend named Debbie. And Debbie owns a coffee shop with her husband and family. Super great coffee, by the way. Brick Street Coffee. You can order online. Shout out. But we just had like a quick conversation once or twice the whole time I was there. Like, after we were done with the conversation and as Debbie walked away, she just like had this feeling, like a voice told her, you just met Michael Andy's wife. And I had no idea who he was at the time. So it was a little strange to me whenever she DM'd me like 2 days later, and she said that there was a Sharon Andes who wanted me to reach out to her for personal training. And Sharon lives in Washington. And I'm like, I'm gonna fly out to Washington State to train someone for a week? So I got in contact with Sharon, Michael's mom, and we set it up. And like, I had known who Michael's dad was because I had heard him preach before. Michael's dad is a minister. And I knew that he had an Australian wife, but that is all I knew about the Andes family. So when I heard that she wanted me to come out and train her, I was like, yo, a chance to go to Washington State? I'd never even been further to the West Coast than like Oklahoma. So I was like, bet. We set it up.
You're 20 at the time.
I'm 20 at the time. And this was in April of 2024. So then there were some scheduling conflicts and I wasn't able to go until June. So now you're kind of
So on my end, I was in the middle of bug hell at Copilot all the first half of 2024. So Michael's mind was preoccupied with making money, or trying not to lose money, I should say, because it was a rough first half of the year. So my mom texted me out of the blue, was like, hey, there's this girl, and my friend told me that, you know, she's super awesome and loves fitness. My mom knew that, like, being into fitness was like a non-negotiable for me, and someone that would work out and stuff. So she said, you know, here's her Instagram. So I was like, cool. Just tell her if she wants to come up here, I'll say hi to her. And
say hi.
I don't know if I said I'd take you on a date. It's always been a running joke with my mom because she always tries to matchmake me with people. I say like, yeah, tell them if they want to come up here, I'll take them for a date. Not a single person has ever done that. I just want to make clear, not a single person ever did that.
Contrary to popular belief.
All that to say.
Yeah, I was.
Mom was like the certain day. Because I was out of town a whole bunch because I was flying and all sorts of stuff. So I'm like, look, it's got to be like way away. And I was like, there's no way it's going to happen. Like it was secondary. Now, that being said, after I said those words, I did look at her Instagram later and I saw some very good form on her Instagram.
I posted a barbell back row tutorial and he was like,
folks, her barbell back.
Fell in love after that.
The barbell back row that she performs was stellar. stellar form. So, I knew, I'm like, okay, she's legit. Like, she knows what she's doing. Like, there are very few people that know how to do that barbell row correctly. And so she did it right. Very impressive. But honestly, to be honest, I wasn't like, oh, like, this is going to be, I didn't put my hopes in it at all.
He wasn't.
I was focused on the business.
Yeah.
And so then you showed up. Are we jumping all the way to that?
Yeah, kind of going back to this, though, like a week or two before going, being that I thought that Michael had, or that Mike's mom had other girls fly out before me, I was, like, extremely skeptical, and I had a very... Oh, no, you DM'd me. We have to tell that, too. Okay,
oh, yeah.
Wait.
So my mom was getting her appendix taken out, like, a week or two before.
Yeah.
So I did DM her and was like, hey, FYI, your patient that you're about to be training has their appendix taken out.
He tried to be a little discreet. But at this point, I had been told that he had a lot of girls flown out before. His mom had flown out a lot of girls before me.
All lies.
So whenever he DM'd me, I was like, okay, what is this a setup? And I was like on the brink of
high suspicion.
I was, because I'm not about getting set up or anything like that.
No, I
so
won't want that.
I was not super thrilled about the idea of possibly being set up on this trip. So I walked into it very close-minded. I saw your Instagram, obviously, after you DM'd me, and, like, I watched a couple of your reels, and I was like...
This business guy?
This guy is, like, talking about money, and...
That's right.
You do this conference, and that's pretty much all I knew. He talks about money a lot in conference.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Very attractive.
Yeah. I flew in on a Monday, and... On the drive from Seattle to where we live, which is like an hour and a half, the whole time almost, his mom kept talking about him.
Really?
Like, yes. It's like, well, not the whole time, I should say that, but she kept dropping you in through the conversation, like in points where it was not even necessary.
Good job,
like,
Mom.
My son Michael and my son Mike, and I was
Crushed
like,
it.
that's exactly what I was scared of. I'm
Good
getting set up on this
salesperson,
trip.
you know what I'm saying?
So the next day, yeah, she was really pitching you. The next day, on Tuesday, I'm still spending the day with his mom. I had trained her at the gym earlier that morning, and we were just spending time around Washington. And she kept bringing him up again. And I was like, I had to straight up tell her. I was like, yeah, I would, if someone would try to set me up, if someone would try to, like, matchmake me with someone else, I would run in the opposite direction. Like, I'm not about that. So that was my way of telling her, whatever you're trying to do, don't even
not
bother.
happening.
And then... Oh, yeah. She also told me that he was coming over for dinner. I was staying with his parents.
Honestly, I came over to my parents' house every once or twice a month at least for dinner. Maybe even more. Like once or twice. I'd say once every other week. I was coming to their house for dinner.
Yeah, but she told me
because the office is like 4-minute drive from their house.
She told me that she was just going to have you over. So it would have just been us four. And I was like, that's a little suspicious.
I came for the T-bone steaks, baby.
Right. I had such, like, I had already shut it down in my mind before I met him. I was like, this is so weird. I came here to train her, not to be set up, until he walked into the door. And then I was kind of like, love at first sight. Even though I don't believe in love at first sight, but if it was true, I would imagine that's what it would feel like.
You thought what?
Whenever you walked in, like, you were just so authentic. You were so charismatic and so yourself, and I could tell you weren't, like, putting anything on. And it was very attractive to me. And you were very confident. Like, you just walked up and shook my hand.
Yep.
As I was washing dishes.
Yeah,
no, I was washing lettuce.
Oh, you're right.
And then dishes after, because I was
all
nervous.
we talked about, like, the entire... yeah, because you're nervous. That's right.
No, okay, we're getting
all we talked about was working out. In the gym.
Because that's, like, at the time, the only common ground language. We had.
Yeah.
Like, it was comfortable for both of us.
And we had some amazing T-bone steaks I made on the barbecue.
Oh, you did make those.
That's
right.
Really good. They're amazing.
That was also impressive. I was like, he knows how to cook. And
well, I'm going to call it cooking. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, yeah, you were there for, like, an hour and a half.
Maybe. Not even. It was short.
Yeah. And, like, we had conversation and it was comfortable. And, like, I thought he was... pretty attractive, but...
Am I going to share my side now?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So then I left. I was having a leadership meeting afterwards. Liz told me, like, so how'd it go? And I was like, it was good. I wasn't like...
Take it or leave it?
I wasn't take it or leave it. I was just like, she was great. And she's like, well, are you going to, like, ask her out? And I was like, no, like, I don't want to appear desperate or whatever, or weird. She's like, well, like, when's she leaving? And I was like, were you leaving Sunday, right? No, I was leaving Sunday. I was flying out for a turnaround. And so that was
That was
That
on
was
a
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
That was on a Tuesday. So then I text right away after the meeting. Liz like, you need to do it now. Like right now. I'm like, okay.
Props.
So I just figured if I went my typical like blunt self, if she didn't like that it wouldn't be good. I was kind of like, you know what? Look, the very worst is I'm gonna see her one more time at church.
Yeah, the next day.
The next day, and so I said I'm gonna shoot my shot, and if she doesn't like blunt, she doesn't like straightforward, then this ain't gonna work because that's just kind of how we roll. And so I DM'd her on Instagram. Now this is the funny part. She did not give me her cell phone number until like
No, you
Saturday or
play
Sunday.
Your cards right.
It was.
I didn't.
Okay, you be honest. You did not want to give me your phone number because you were still concerned about me being a player.
Yes.
That's
exactly right. Listen,
Folks.
I had to feel it out. Because, like, even though, yes, I thought,
Right.
like, I really liked you, whenever I first met you, like...
You said that you thought I was gonna be your husband from the second you saw me.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on, wait.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I just kind of think it's funny that you wouldn't give your future husband your phone number.
I had to make sure that was the Lord,
Yeah,
not the feelings.
that's right.
Okay.
So that
Anyways.
revelation did not come to me as soon. I was
Hold
down
on,
the
you're
road.
jumping ahead.
Wait, okay, Gret. So
Okay.
I DM'd you.
You DM'd
This
me.
is Tuesday night.
Yes.
You put me on the back burner for a few hours. Oh no, you were busy. You were doing
Well,
something.
first
with
of all, my
family.
account was silent. Like,
Oh.
I had my notifications off.
Right.
So I wasn't getting your DMs until,
Yeah.
like, unless I purposely checked.
I
I
don't-
wasn't expecting you to DM.
I think I was working late that night. I don't think I even got your. You good the next morning.
You DM me like 2 or 3 hours after you left.
You're right. Yeah.
And yeah, whenever I got the text, I'm pretty sure my jaw physically dropped, and I was like, "This is gutsy."
That's how we roll.
You were like, "You want to go grab dinner?"
I was
tomorrow?"
very chill and I was not creepy.
No, you weren't creepy.
I was
You were
like,
just very forward.
hey, do you want to grab some lunch tomorrow?
And you gave me your number in the same text. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you want to grab lunch tomorrow before church? Here's my number." Da, da, da.
Yeah. Now the truth of the story is the reason I need to I need her number and I need to give her my number was because the media team sees all my DMs more than I do because they have a different phone and they see all my messages and they manage those for me. And so I don't text people, especially not girls, according to anyone else. Goodness gracious. But like, don't do that. And so I was like, I had to delete every time I send her a message. I have to delete it in my messages.
I still have the receipts.
You do? You
Maybe
still have
I'll
all the
put
way from the
them-
beginning?
Yeah. Maybe I should
Brutal.
put a
You have
screenshot,
the
like, right there.
receipts.
Oh, it's glorious.
Oh.
So he texted me that, and I was like, before going to sleep that night, praying, and I just like had the overwhelming feeling that he would be my husband, and I was chiding myself internally. It was like the most crazy internal dialogue. I was like, you think he's gonna be your husband, but you don't even know this guy. Like, you're gonna go on a date with him tomorrow, and you hardly know this guy. He probably flies other girls out, but you're still gonna go out with this guy. Like, I was very conflicted, but I somehow knew that I was gonna marry him. Like, I just knew.
So after work the next day, I picked you up for...
Yep.
Right.
He came to
I
his
came,
parents'
picked
house
you
and
up
picked
right
me up,
after work.
and he opened the car door for me, and that was the first green flag. I was like, oh, gentlemen.
Okay, so that was Wednesday night. Wednesday night, take her out for dinner, local place next to the water, right next to the
It
marina.
was really cool.
And then we went to
walked
church.
around after.
After church, my mom asked her, because you were staying with my mom and dad. So my mom asked her and says, oh, how'd it go? She's like, it was good. And that was it.
That's all I had to say.
And so my mom, to my sister and I on our different WhatsApp chat called the Happy Things chat, she texted me like, well, she's very talkative. I asked her how it went and she said, very good. And I was like, that's my kind of girl. Because I don't like people that yik yak and tilly-whack and give a bunch of drama.
I didn't even tell my very close friends yet.
See, that's
Because
good.
I wanted to make sure, like...
Green flag.
it was-
Now, I still wasn't 100% in.
Yeah, I was
Nope.
all in, which is super ironic, because I was the
Mhm.
one who was like, whoa, this guy's probably a weirdo.
Yeah.
But then after meeting and especially after...
Okay, we got to speed this up. So Thursday, we went on the boat with the whole family.
Thursday, we had a whole family outing, so we didn't talk the entire time.
Yeah.
At this point, okay,
That's
so it was
right.
after our
Brianna
first
thought
date-
she was getting
Wait!
shut down.
After our first date on Wednesday, no contact from him whatsoever. Like,
Really?
You never texted me.
Did I not?
You may have said that the date was good, but that was it. Or you may have said, like, thanks for going. You did. You thanked me for coming out.
I don't
but
think
that
we
was it.
addressed it as a date either. We just
No.
went out for
You
dinner.
just said thanks for going out or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was it. He did not talk to me the whole time on the boat with his family. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, is he not interested anymore?
I was chill.
Yeah, he was chill. And
I was busy driving the boat.
I was like, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was like, why is he like not, really talking to me? So
Brianna's gutsy. She's got guts.
We were boating back to land to go to our cars.
And you're like, it's now or never,
And the family
folks.
was on the outside part of the boat, and Michael was
shoot
inside
my
driving.
shot.
And I was like, okay, I need to be the one to go talk to him then if he's not going to say anything, because this is just kind of weird. And I was racking my brain trying to think of what to say. Nothing was coming to mind. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk in there and then hope something's...
Because I was up in the cab area.
Yeah,
all kids and everything in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I like came in and I said something stupid that was so small talkish, and then you just like you had something, you said it. But
if it was tall talk, we wouldn't have.
He so casually says, "Yeah, so I'm thinking tomorrow we just go out," and he like points behind us back there and like go to a restaurant that's on that side of the island or the land.
Hey, it's
So
called the
casually.
assumption close. We're not gonna ask her if she wants to go out.
No,
for
he
a
tells me.
You just say, "Hey, this is where we're going tomorrow night." That's right.
Hey, I like the confidence. So we did just that.
Then I took you, ate at restaurant. On the way back, on the way there, we started to
loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, I asked you some deeper questions.
Yeah.
You were very good at answering the questions. We were honest about a lot of stuff, and it was good.
Yeah.
That was a good date.
That was a really good date. Yeah.
And then we went race cars after.
We did go-karts afterwards, and
That's
I saw the
right.
really competitive side of Michael.
Crushed
first
her.
and foremost.
Absolutely demolished her.
So at this
folks.
point, I'm like, okay, this guy, he's like pretty legit. I'm still not like 100% sure about where to stand on the whole he flies girls out all the time.
Classic question. We're driving from my parents' house on that Friday night. We're driving next to the office at the intersection. She's like, so what exactly does Augusta do? So I'm like, okay, good thing. It means that she did not look me up beforehand, doesn't know all about the businesses. So I'm like, too enthusiastic thumbs up.
I think we were still like a month into dating, and I asked you about co-pilot.
Yeah, so what exactly is co-pilot?
Yeah.
So, good thing, she wasn't a gold digger.
Right. So that brings us to the next day. Because that night, you asked me out again, I think. Or we had already planned on going out on the Saturday.
No, I just said, hey, tomorrow at some point I'll pick you up. Because I knew that morning. I worked all that night. Did I tell you that?
No.
I worked all Friday night. I don't think I slept anything.
Are
I worked.
You serious?
Yeah, because Friday night I had to go. Well, I have to. I love to go with you. I took you out, and then I knew I was gonna spend like the Saturday afternoon with you. So I worked like that whole night because that was in the thick of it.
What a goat.
That's
whenever you sold or you bought the rest of Copilot.
That's when I was bringing on Josh to remember that evening I was doing his agreement.
He had so much going on this very week because
Yeah.
that's whenever you bought Copilot.
Yeah. Oh, and I missed out. I canceled a conference. Remember this? I had a paid speaking gig I was supposed to be that week. And it was the only week we could make work, so I canceled it.
He canceled it before we met, so he was taking a complete gamble.
Huge gamble. I lost out on $20,000 just to be here for 4 days. Anyways, worth it.
Right. Good job. Good save.
Okay, so
then Saturday. That was
we were
the
just
best
chilling.
date.
We were just driving.
Yeah.
Honestly, best date. We drove around the county. We got a smoothie.
You just showed me
Drove all over the county.
The area of Washington. But it was good.
Tiny house, went to the tiny house.
Yeah, but it was good because we were in the car driving, so we just talked. There was no distraction. Because go-karts were fun, but you're in separate carts, you're not talking.
She lost, folks. Let's just address the facts. So, she ain't gonna like that.
That was unnecessary. So, yeah, Saturday went super well, and then he pulls into his parents' driveway to drop me off, and he was like, do you want to pray together? And I was like, I'm marrying this man. I'm marrying this man. So he prayed over us and whatever decisions we would make going forward.
And I still wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
I was 99%.
The thing about Michael though is whatever he's gonna do, he gives it his all. So even though you weren't sure if I was the one yet, you still you did everything to your best ability.
So then I had to leave. I had to leave early Sunday morning on a turnaround trip. Mm-hmm. And that week, Copilot was melting. It was a really bad week. So I had to be good face for Brianna, bad face to everyone else.
Because I also straight up just didn't know what Copilot was. So if you would have tried to describe it, it would have been
do you fly in the air?
On Sunday or Monday morning.
Sunday morning. I was flying out, but I got it for you right before.
He got me a e-gift card for a local salon.
Now, folks, I know what you're thinking. E-gift card's so unpractical. Look, it was closed by the time we were like. I think I dropped you off at like 4 or 5 on Saturday evening. They were closed. I had to leave at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, so there's no way I could go pick up the actual physical copy of the gift card.
If it was physical or digital. It was just the thought that counted.
Right. So I got you. What was it?
It was a $200 gift card
for like a spa place.
To a spa place, and I had first of all never really even been to a spa thing, so I was like, "What in the world?" I was blown away. You also sent a red heart with it. I was like, "Whoa! We're already sending hearts? What?"
That's right.
So then. We were talking, FaceTiming every day after that until, like, and then you were supposed to come visit in August. So this was mid-June.
Wrong.
And no.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Listen to this.
Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't supposed to visit until August.
End of August.
End
we
of
had
August.
Turnaround trips. We had
like
franchise training.
Every weekend.
I had comp every single weekend.
Yeah, leading up to that. So then you canceled
something. We moved the franchise training.
He moved franchise training just to come visit me sooner. So when he told me that, I was like, wow, he means business. Oh, and then at some point we did clear up the fact that... Oh, wait.
That was Saturday.
Yeah, no.
On the Saturday, I told her, I
forgetting.
broke the news. I was like, well, there's something I need to tell you. I'm sure... I don't know what you were thinking at that moment.
I don't know either.
But I was like, to be honest, like, I flew you up here.
Yeah,
it is kind of a setup. It's not my mom, but, like, I did know about you beforehand, and, like, I kind of wanted to get to know you.
I was in shock for a good 5 minutes. I was like, what?
Yeah, she felt set. She felt played.
Yeah, I was almost like, hold on, now I want to undo all these things.
That's right.
I did feel so played. But...
So we let my mom continue to think this for like a couple months. That she was still like...
We let his mom think that I still thought she had me fly out instead of
for the training, yeah. And that it was not a setup. So my mom was still trying to play very cool.
So he ended up coming in July, met my parents. It all went very well. And then I dropped you off in Pensacola for you to fly out. And then after I left, that's whenever you knew.
That's when I knew. I knew I loved you after the Saturday you left. I didn't tell you. Yeah, the first visit. But then I knew I was going to marry you, the Saturday. The Saturday you left me in Pensacola.
It took him about 3 weeks to come to that epiphany. It took me one night. It took him a little longer. But, okay, and then...
Okay, where's the rest is history part of this story? When do we have to wrap this up? You know, it's been 25 minutes.
You asked me pretty soon into it if I would move to
The
Washington.
potential in this video, I don't know. On my second time out there, I was basically like... I kind of like pitched the idea of you coming out. Oh, no, this is what it was. I said I would not get married to someone unless we had spent a good amount of time around.
You said it would take you a very long time to be ready for marriage if we did long distance.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I know what I have to do. Because I was ready. Like, I already knew. So then we talked about my moving here.
And then at the same time, the gym needed a trainer because previous one didn't work out.
No, it was so convenient.
So we got her up here under the guise of being a trainer.
Yep.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. We dated for like 5 or 6 more months. Got engaged in December. Got married in February 28th because I had started planning the wedding in August, so I was ahead. I started planning our wedding 2 months after we met. I was like booking stuff and everything.
That's why
which a lot of people would say is stupid, and I would agree. I would not recommend that to anyone else. Don't do what we did. But we just knew. So
it was great.
Yeah.
All right. Is that the end of the story?
To the one
subscriber that asked about this question.
It's our story.
That's right. Mike and Bree vlogs. Like and subscribe, comment, share.